And I heard this thing that I thought was just the music of the spheres. And I ran out of my room like a maniac, running around all these terraces, trying to find out if the world was either beginning or coming to an end. And I was told that it was the call to prayer. You know the story of the call to prayer? Have you heard? You know it? I went on a quest to find out about what that was, what we just heard today. And I was told by Imam Faisal Rauf in New York that the Prophet Muhammad left Mecca, where there was an assassination attempt on his life, and he went with his followers to Medina. And they built there the first mosque, built a mosque for prayer. And after having built the mosque, they wondered how they would call the people to prayer. And they said, well, we can't use a bell. Remember that. We can't use a bell because the Christians use a bell. We can't use a horn because the Jews use a horn. How will we call the people to prayer? And one of the followers of the prophet came and said, I have had a dream in which a man said, this is how we call the people to prayer. You can see it in your program. The way I was told it is a slightly different translation. God is most great. I bear witness that there is no God but God. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. Come to prayer, come to success. God is most great. There is no God but God. He's smiling. He's going to smile more in a minute. So Imam Faisal Rauf put it this way. He said, the prophet said, this is an instruction to us. And he asked Bilal, who was an Abyssinian slave from Ethiopia. He accepted Islam in Mecca, and his master had whipped him and subjected him to immense suffering. He was the first African to become Muslim because he was a slave in Mecca. And he, like even today, the Africans are known for their musical voices, you know, and their rhythm and blues. Imam Faisal Rauf gets worked up. Their rhythm and blues and soul and stuff like that. Bilal had a beautiful soul, you know. Look at him smiling. So the prophet said, Bilal, climb to the roof and call the people to prayer. And make this call. People who heard it for the first time, they froze. Said, what's that? They freaked out. They froze. The fact that the call to prayer has such a compelling power to anybody who hears it is an act of grace.